in this tutorial just a few tips how to work with different clipboards, and especially how to take with the keyboard symptoms into different clipboards. So for example, some people like to use in the first clipboard for the mind, and the second one the generals, and the third one the locals. Or if you use, for example, from Ewald Steutler, the disease classification of Hahnemann, you have need of 8 symptom clipboards. And when you are taking the symptoms of the patient, you like to divide them over these different clipboards. So first, how to change a clipboard name permanently. So you can right mouse click on it, and here you find change clipboard name. But you can also open the clipboard. Just let me take first one symptom, and I open the clipboard. Here you see the name of the clipboard, and I can do right mouse click, and I say change clipboard name, and just as an example, I write here test name. Now, if you want to use it just for one time, it's okay like that. If you want to change it permanently, you check mark here, save the name as a default name, and I say okay. Okay, for my example, let me put it back again. I say change clipboard name, and let me call this the mind. And I do very traditional, like Kent and Tyler, who mentions the mind symptoms, and then the generals, and then the local symptoms. So this one I have named general, and this one I have named the local. Just let me recap a moment. You see this check mark, that's the default clipboard. It means when you use with the keyboard standard +1, +2, +3 with an intensity 1, 2, 3, it always goes into the first clipboard. So here my hand is now pointing to without, and on the keyboard I do plus, enter, and you see it goes into this clipboard, the default clipboard. If I click here on another symptom, so the hand is pointing to here dentition. So if I click on the main take button, you see it also goes here into this clipboard. Now, of course, you know that when you use drag and drop, you can drop it to any of these clipboards. So let me drop it here to the third one. Okay, but that's still with the mouse. You can also here open the sub menu, and you see with the mouse you can do +1, +2, +3, +4, but that's the intensity. It still goes into the active clipboard, the one with the check mark. You also have the equal sign. It's taken immediately also into the active clipboard. And you have here the function key F6, or this option, I click on it, and here you can select into which clipboard it goes. So if I do here clipboard 4 and I say take, you see that it's taken into the 4th clipboard. But that's all still with the mouse, and that takes some time. The last thing I wanted to say before I show you how to do that with the keyboard is you can change the default clipboard to one of the others. And you can do that with a right mouse click, and you see here set as default. And you can use the hotkeys Alt click. So if I hold down on the keyboard the Alt key and I say click, you see that the default clipboard has been changed. If now here I select another symptom and I say plus enter, you see it goes into this clipboard. Now also if I click here on the main button, it goes into that default clipboard. So I do again, Alt click, and let me select another symptom. I click here and you see it goes into that clipboard. Okay, now finally I come to what I wanted really to show, and that is how to take with the keyboard symptoms quickly into different clipboards. Let me clear first everything. I you see I right mouse click on the first clipboard and I say clear all clipboards and reset names and set current as default. I say don't save. Everything is clean, but you see that the permanent name has not been changed. Yeah, so the first one is still my mind, this is my general, and this is my local. How to take a symptom immediately into a different clipboard. So my hand is pointing to this rubric. Now on the keyboard I say plus, and then I use this sign. It's a kind of an arrow, and it expresses go to. And if I select here, for example, 5, and I say take, you see it goes here into the 5th clipboard. So let's do another one. On the keyboard I say plus, then I say go to, or the arrow, or in homeopathy terms it's also ameliorates, but let's see it as if it's an arrow. And then I say, for example, 2, and you see it is into clipboard number 2. That's easy. Now you can also combine it with intensity. So you know when you do on the keyboard plus, and if you just do enter, it is the same as you would say here 1, it's intensity 1. Yeah, but then it still goes into clipboard number 1. Now if you want to have this immediately into another clipboard, I do here go to, or put it into clipboard 4, and I say take. Yeah, let me clean it again. I say clear all clipboards, don't save. So I want to take a symptom into clipboard 3, for example, my local symptom, and I want to have an intensity 2 at the same time. I say plus, I say intensity 2, and I say go to clipboard number 3, or put it into clipboard number 3. And there it is. So let me do it one more time. I say plus, let's say I want to have an intensity 1, but you do not need to put a 1, but it doesn't matter. I can put a 1 or not. And I say put it into clipboard number 5. And if I look here on clipboard number 5, you see that it has an intensity 1.